Hello and welcome back. So the guitar is finally done. I had so much fun designing and building this guitar, and I hope you enjoyed it too. There were a lot of blood, sweat and tears involved. The blood and sweat were real. Tears were more symbolic, especially when I poured epoxy in the wiring channels, if you remember. But overall, I had so much fun making this video series and making and designing and building this guitar. I want to take a few minutes in this video to explain my thought process for my entry into this contest, and then we'll do the final reveal and demo of the guitar. So I wanted to do a custom design and build for this contest. Didn't want to do pre-existing designs like the Les Pauls, Tellys and the Strats. Nothing wrong with it. In fact, some people in this contest have created amazing works of art on these Tellys and the Flying V's and the Stratocasters, so nothing wrong with it, but I personally wanted to design a custom guitar for the contest. Second, I wanted to stay more traditional for this design and not make any radical design features. So as you've already seen, the design looks fairly traditional, and it has some features of the Les Paul, some features of the Stratocaster. The fretboard markers are pretty traditional, the fret dots that are centered on the fretboard. And finally, I wanted to focus on the wood and not focus so much on solid colors and paints, and I wanted the grain and the grain pattern to show up in the guitar. So that was the final thing that was in my mind when I started the guitar design. So without further ado, introducing my custom guitar, the Rio. I just want to take a couple of minutes to explain why I've christened this guitar Rio, which, as you know, in Spanish means river. Years ago when I was in grad school, one of the favorite places I would visit was the local riverside. You know, especially one of those days, those challenging days when your experiments haven't worked in the lab, you don't want to deal with people. I would go by the riverside and just watch the blue water flowing, gurgling, hear the birds chirping, and all the stress would melt away, and it had a very therapeutic effect on me. In recent years, guitar building has been the same therapy for me like visiting the rivers years ago, and also the blue epoxy fill reminds me of a flowing river. Hence, I've called this guitar the Rio, which, as you know, in Spanish means river. All right, let's do a quick rundown of the features. We have a flat top with two humbucker pickups, and these are the James Hetfield signature set from EMG. From what I understand, Mr. Hetfield wanted a set of active pickups that still had the tonal characteristics, the tonal features of passive pickups. So he approached EMG, and I believe the engineers at the company came up with this set of humbucker pickups. Then we have a Schaller 3D6 bridge. We have two volumes and two tone controls with top hat knobs and a three-way toggle switch. There are 22 frets on the fretboard. This is a neck through design, as you can see here. There's a tusk nut. There's an angled headstock with an 11-degree angle. I have 6 in-a-line locking tuners, and they are installed on the treble side, not the bass side of the headstock. And for this design, you have to have left-handed tuning machines. The back cover plates are made from offcuts of the wood that I used for the top. Finish is a true oil finish. I did 15 layers of true oil with some scuffing and sanding between some of those layers. The final wet sanding was done to 2000 grit with distilled water, and then I polished it with some compound and finally buffed it out with paste wax. All right, let's take Rio for a test drive. I once again want to thank all you folks for joining me on this journey, on this guitar building journey. Hopefully, I'll see you back for my future videos. In the meantime, I'll leave you with this music that I recorded with this guitar that we just built. It's Halloween time here in the United States, and the music befits the occasion. I hope you enjoy. Cheers.